All right, so this is going to be a short video, but I had a member of the audience reach out to me and ask me a question. They asked if I could make a video about my future plans with my agency, that they were curious to know how far I plan to scale this agency and how far I think a cold email agency or a marketing agency can get, whether that's $100,000 a month, $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, and that they were curious to see my thoughts on this. So I'm more than happy to engage with you guys in this way. I appreciate you leaving that comment, by the way. You guys are more than welcome to ask me any sort of questions. I don't live on any high horse, or I don't sit on any high horse. I'm just responding to your guys' questions. Okay, I'm not a celebrity, I promise. And I would always block out your names, especially if it's via email, but you did this in the YouTube comments, so I mean everyone could see it, but I mean no harm, I promise. So answering your question, and thanks for giving me an idea for this video. I'm swamped nowadays. I've been swamped lately getting ready to launch Spectre, which is my private mentorship coaching program, AI cold email coaching program. So nonetheless, to answer your question, future plans. So right now, I'm due to very popular demand, as you've seen with the spike on this channel, and especially that free course, I've received a lot of demand for more private coaching, hence Spectre. And I've done dozens of interviews with other agency owners, seeing if this is actually what they want, if I can support them in the right way. I really, beyond that, or prior to that, I had no plans to do that. I was just going to scale my agency and just take me where it takes me. However, things happen, and I do have a passion for educating people, and also people have gotten results just from my free stuff, right? And they've requested more education, so I've had to weigh that with my agency. And of course, anytime you do two things at the same time, one of them doesn't work out well, right? So if you've noticed, I'm giving you the context here, okay? Without going too deep into it, because we'll get into why I keep some stuff on reserve at times. As much as I want to be open, it's not always the smartest thing to do. So, yeah. So if you've been keeping up for a while, I don't expect you to have been keeping up, but I've been upping my rate quite a bit, and shifting towards more invite only, and it's a privilege I get because my inbound activity, my inbound client acquisition has very recently overtaken my outbound cold email acquisition strategy, meaning I get more clients and bigger clients inquiring about working with me via YouTube. It's a fancy way of saying that. So 99% of, sorry, I had to put my AirPods in because this dog keeps barking. Anyway, where was I? So anyway, I'm getting ready to long story short, let me not make this longer than it has to be. I'm getting ready to launch Spectre. And it's something that I want to at least attempt to give my all. So if you notice, I've been increasing my rate and shifting to invite only and things like that. It's very purposely done and intentionally so to scale down, right? I've been offboarding clients, so on and so forth. So, and then my plan is to just see how Spectre goes, and then we'll see if I mean, I don't have any doubts that it's going to be something amazing, but it's more of lifestyle that I look at, right? Before I do anything, or as I'm doing something, as I'm building this agency, I'm very intentional about making sure that I build the lifestyle I want around it. Because the last thing you want to do, and I've had this happen to me several times, is build a thing, but then like your life sucks, and it's gonna suck. Let me not get it twisted. Like for the first year or so, you got to grind it out. Like you got to pay your dues, right? So life is gonna suck. But in terms of how I structure my agency and stuff, like even Spectre, I'm structuring it in a way to where I can keep it consistent, sort of like these YouTube videos, right? I know I'm kind of dancing around the thing, but the point is Spectre has my focus right now, right? The agency is doing fine. And if Spectre goes up, then I'm just being open. It's very difficult to do both of those things unless you hire like a COO or something. So if the Spectre goes up, the educational leg goes up, and people want more of it, I just respond to the market. That's all. So the agency itself, I'll continue to scale down. Does that make sense? So the educational leg, I was thinking of grouping it under Vintascale. However, it's likely going to be its own entity, and I have some plans with that I don't want to jinx just yet. And the reason why I'm speaking to you at a very high level is because this is the honesty. If you ever plan on getting on social media, is you have to tread carefully about talking about this stuff too openly. As much of an open book as I'd like to be with you guys, I mentioned like I have a real life, but also scratch that I can handle. The YouTube marketing, like the marketing sector of YouTube, the AI sector of YouTube, and like the overall make money online sector of YouTube is very small and tight knit. And everybody's really competitive, and everybody will try to race to launch an offer to beat out the other person. You know what I mean? So if I talk about like the very specific offers that I'm thinking of launching, there's no telling if someone adjacent to me comes across that YouTube video and then races to launch an offer, sort of thing, right? So long story short, I'm focused on the education piece right now. I'm still obviously running Ventiscale. There's no real limit to how far you can scale an agency. If you look at Lead Gen J, for example, Lead Gen J, forget his actual name, but he goes by Lead Gen J. He scaled his PR agency. They used cold email though to get clients, but he scaled his PR agency to, I believe it was $600K a month. That's the biggest example top of mind that I know of. I haven't come across anyone doing over $1 million a month with cold email. Someone please interject or correct me if I'm wrong. There's guys like Nick Abraham. I think he's doing somewhere in the range of like $300,000 a month with his cold email agency. So there's no limit. It's just after a certain point, you got to ask yourself, like, what kind of life do you want? You know what I mean? Some people are just all agency, and some people, like, those guys are not on YouTube much. I mean, Lead Gen J is, but I kind of like this YouTube thing is very natural for me, and so it's going to get people results. And so you kind of just do things where you see success, where you can contribute best, right? So no limit on the agency. It's just a lifestyle. That's it, right? I had a YouTube comment that I deleted. I got it out of there. I will do this if you comment some nonsense. By the way, I don't have time for negative energy or anything like that. Okay, I'm not a social media person. I'm in and I'm out of this thing. Okay, so you comment crazy stuff. I'm just not going to give you the time of the day. But I did have someone leave a comment that was to the extent of like service-based businesses. They left a comment that said service-based business that excludes 99% of clients and is invite only. Very telling, talking about my agency. And the thing is, like, this is the life I want. I've always been very open and upfront in saying I don't want a bunch of clients, right? I don't want a bunch of clients. I want to work with clients on a very personal level, and it's more risk that I take on because if one leaves, I take a bigger hit. Right. However, you have to think about the lifestyle you want. I don't want the biggest agency in the world. I don't. And if you look at a lot of the biggest marketers in the world, the agency, you can scale the agency to the moon. But if you look at the biggest marketers in the world, like not the Alex Hormozis, who's a great example? Who built like a Daniel Fazio is a very recent example. Who's a great example? You can kind of say Alex Hormozi with Jim Launch, even though that wasn't directly an agency. But Alex Becker with SEO. Agency is a great first business. It's like a great cash flow business that you can use to springboard into other stuff, if anything. And a lot of the great marketers of our day, and even generations before, have started with agencies because it teaches you it makes you super good at so many different skills, right? So this is the life I want. And I also have the ability now to reject most people, because who am I going to work with? Am I going to work with everyone? No. It's how you stay broke. You can't work with everyone. So you have to exclude. You should be rejecting 99% of the people that show up on calls, right? And it's invite only because I'm preemptively preparing for the educational entity. There's no way around it. Like, it just is what it is, right? And you must adjust preemptively as you structure the business. Why would why would you scale the agency full throttle if you're planning on launching some sort of coaching or mentorship? Why would you? Because the education or mentorship is going to suffer from that. See what I mean? If the people request my assistance in that area, like overwhelmingly, who am I to neglect that? I'd be dumb. Right? There's demand there. There's very much still demand with cold email. It's just thinking about the life you want. That's like the ultimate common denominator. Life gets very different from 10K a month to 50K a month. It just does. It's more stress. It's more reward, but it's more stress. Same thing from 50 to 80K a month. It's more reward, more stress. 80K a month is about $1 million a year. 50K a month is about 600K a year. So there's no limit on a cold email agency. There really isn't. There really isn't. It's, perhaps integrating different offers like LinkedIn automation at a certain point might make your life easier. Who knows? There's no limit. I can't speak to 500K a month. I'm not there yet. So my plans right now, because God put this in my path, I guess I have a talent for educating people and breaking things down in a very simple way, and I can connect with people on a really deep level really quickly and inspire them, reignite the self-belief in them and get them results. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to honor that. Why would I not? So there's no dance around my intentions here. If people want my assistance and I can actually get them results, as I have been able to do just with my free stuff, then why would I not? Why would I not do that? And if I'm going to spend weeks on end developing something like that that's designed to systematically get people results, well, then I very much am aware that something's going to sacrifice, so I preemptively plan accordingly. This is just business 101. This is how you survive. All right. So I hope that answers your question, my friend. Anyway, very short video, as I promised. Nothing to sell you. If you guys have any questions, just leave a comment. All right. Appreciate you guys. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.